Ladies and gentlemen, for the American jury and Bulldog Nation, many times they say this is the trial of the century. Then they say this is the largest political scandal in years, like since Watergate. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, the story and the issue about China and COVID is as big as a world war. The harm in lives, deaths, illness, sickness, after effects, and economic calamity and collateral calamity as a result of this is astronomical. I don't know if it can be tallied. And I want to make some points, and I want to make them very strong, clear, and concise. First off, we start out at the Wuhan lab. The Wuhan lab. By the way, you may not know this. Wuhan is a city, hell, bigger than New York, LA. I mean, you're talking about a massive city. And there's a lab there, the virology lab. And you know what? There was actually some American funds given to China. Like China needs $600,000 or millions, whatever it was that we're giving them. Are you kidding me? And who was behind the directing of those funds? Partly Fauci. And the Wall Street Journal did an op-ed yesterday. I get the Wall Street Journal. The Wuhan Institute of Virology. And this is amazing. When this all hit, Tom Cotton was talking about, hey, this is a real problem. You know, this is a place that messes around with some bad stuff, man-created viruses. So when it first hits the United States, Trump, his first reaction early on is cut off travel from China, to and from. And Joe Biden, the media the American Communist 10 let Biden get away. They all just went after Trump. And it's just sad. Now, we now know that Hunter Biden making deals with Communist China, Jim Biden, Joe Biden's brother, and Joe Biden, they're all involved in these deals with China. I mean, just complete compromise. Not to mention Eric Swalwell fooling around with a Chinese spy. He's on the Intelligence Committee. I mean, it's amazing how all these people are compromised and they're all tied in. And then you got Bill Gates and all these other, I mean, it's just muck, yuck, yuck. The evidence. Well, the evidence is, as pointed out, is they tried to come up with this bat issue. Oh, it was a bat. It was animal transferred, blah, blah, blah. Well, the evidence was overwhelming. We had insiders. We had people in that lab, the Wuhan lab, blowing the whistle on them. We had scientists who spoke out, disappeared. So we had whistleblowers telling the world what was going on. That was all man-made inside that Wuhan lab. That there was a release that all the way back in November of 2019, there were some people getting sick with coronavirus from the lab. And meanwhile, you had Trump hitting them hard on tariffs and everything, right? Hitting them hard. Going to win re-election. American economy, best ever. All the statistics, best ever. Stats. Tariffs. Trump's fighting China. And what happens in the election year? We get the coronavirus pandemic. And then you got who's compromised also by China, defending all the BS coming out of China. We're all supposed to believe. And the Wall Street Journal reports that on February 19, 2020, The Lancet published a statement by scientists condemning conspiracy theories. The Lancet statement was organized by Peter Daszak, whose nonprofit has funded research at the Wuhan Virology Center. Compromised. In May 2020, Dr. Fauci dismissed the lab theory. And we all know, I'm not going to go through all Fauci's flip-flops bullshit on this. But then we got the Biden bullshit. The Biden They stop trying to figure out the origin. Only till recently, I guarantee you, the whole purpose of what Biden's doing now is to help China cover it up. It's incredible. We are hitting China with tariffs. The China military going unchecked now. They went unchecked under Obama. They weren't going unchecked under Trump. You got China lending money to anybody and everybody, any country that wants their money, including the United States. You got China coalition with Russia, Iran, North Korea. You got the media who just lays down to it all. Blame Trump. You got pharma who's making billions and billions on the vaccine. And just like on the opiate epidemic, you know what? Now pharma wants to give that vaccine to people that don't even need it, young children. They don't even get coronavirus. And if they do, they don't die. And they're wanting to vaccinate kids and teenagers. Why? Money. And the American Communist 10, the federal swamp, the media, all of them, don't care. They're letting it happen. Why? Because pharma's one of them. It is what they do over and over again is they create the problem. Remember, political Munchausen, a term that I've invented, came up with. Political Munchausen, so they can just make money. They're all political gangsters. They all hated Trump because he wasn't one. Look how they all came down on Trump. The lockdowns. The lockdowns, school, business, everything, just how they just made the problem worse. It's awful. Then the deaths, the constant report. Do they report the deaths now? The death counts, the infection counts? Oh, do they do that like they did under the last year? No. We don't want to hear that stuff now. Then you got Facebook censoring what anybody says about COVID, but now you can say things about COVID. Vaccine. Trump gets the vaccine done quick. It was him. And as Rand Paul points out, only two things have made a difference: the vaccine and herd immunity. That's what's worked. Nothing else. Everything else is bullshit. The American Communist 10, they just support it all happening. And now, what do? Last but not least, let's make racism and white supremacy the most critical issue threatening this country. Really? Really? You know, when you review all of this, and we all lived through it, right? Doesn't it just make you so damn angry? Makes me angry. And it just continues to this day. Somebody texted me, a friend of mine, Jeff Cantor, said, Bulldog, you need to write that book called The American Communist 10. I says, well, it's all interlocked. Let's cover the American Communist 10 as it relates to the China deal. Okay, big corporations, they're in, aren't they? The media, big tech, Hollywood, and music and sports industry. Where do they come down on all this? Oh, you need to get vaccinated. You know, Trump's crazy. You know, don't call it the China virus, so forth and so on. The federal swamp. The federal swamp. Are you kidding me? I don't know if I said big tech, social media. I mean, they're all walking lockstep. Big corporate America. They're all China. They're all together. That's why they're the American Communist 10. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope America has better days ahead.